Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to look at the Lego Time Machine from Back to the Future. 327 pieces, an age rating of 9+, and the code is 77256. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so the box, and inside the box, there's quite a few bags in this one. I have bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, and bag 5. So 5 bags in total. There's a black central piece. I have some stickers. I have a manual. And I have 2 spindly bits. Okay, so let's start with the first section. So firstly, I have to open bag 1. Let's see what's in bag 1. So inside bag 1, there are 2 smaller bags. So let's open those as well. Actually, no, I'll wait for those. Okay, so the first thing is I have to make the Marty McFly character. So we've got light blue trousers. On top of that, I have a dark blue top with flesh-colored hands that has a zipper on it. So I'll put that one together. On top of that, I have the trademark red life jacket vest that he wears. Put that on top like so. Then I have quite a neutral looking face, but this is double-sided as well. And on the other side, I have more of a grimace. So I think I'll use the neutral looking side first. And then on top of that, he comes with brown hair, if I can find it. Right, I'll have to come back for the brown hair, I think, because I can't see it there. Okay, so that's him for now. Right, moving on. So now I have to make the Doc character. He has white trousers, a white top with like a black belt and a grey thing with a walkie-talkie. So I'll put that together. And on the back, he has the symbol for the caution nuclear. Then with his face, he's got one side which is quite expressive, like a scared look. And the other side, he has a happy look. And what's interesting is he's got like scarring on this one, particularly with some sort of bandage. So I'm going to put that side for now. And then he comes with white hair. So let's put the white hair on. So you see him there. So that's the 2 figures for now. I will find Marty's hair in a minute. Right, so on top of that, I now a black piece, and the grey 4-piece goes on like so. Then on top of that, I have to get, interesting, this piece here. So it's got 2 end pieces and a thin piece in the center. And this just goes on top of that, like so. So like that. So now I have to get 2 L pieces. If you can see that, the L pieces. And they go either side of the black piece, like so, if you can see that. Okay, then on top of that is one of these blue pieces, blue 6-piece. And that goes on the back. Okay, so there's actually 4 L pieces. I didn't see that there. So like so, and like so. So you can see it there. And then the blue piece on the back, like so. And now I have to get this square, black square, and that goes on the front, like so. And then on top of that, I have to get two black wedge pieces, like that. So one goes on the front there, and another one on the other side, like so. Okay, so that's on like that. You can see it there. Then on top of that, so I think I may have to open these other bags because there's a few pieces missing. I'm going to open these bags. It's quite tough to open that one. There we go. So, first thing to say is we have Marty's hair. It was in one of the smaller bags. So, there's the Marty character, and there's the Doc. They're together. So I'll put those there for now. Try and stand Marty up so you can see him. Okay, so far we've got that. Now, on top of that, I have to get these two blue dots. They go on the front, and again, the other side, so you can see them there. So imagine this is the front, this side, and this is the back. And I also have to get two grey bricks, and they go on the back, like so. Okay, so now I have to get these like L-shaped pieces, and they go over the front, like so, and again, on the other side. So you can see it there. And then on top of that, the grey piece. This is a grey 6-piece, chunky piece. And that goes on there like that. And then another 6-piece thin blue piece goes on the front. So you can see it like that. Then on top of that, I have to get a grey L piece, two of these, like so. And they go in the center. I'll show you that in a minute. So they attach in the center, just there and there. Then on top of that, I then have to get that black console that was at the beginning, that was in a separate thing. And I have to put that on the front of what I have. Quickly shake that. So you can see that like that. So this is the piece that I've attached to the rest. Okay. Now I have to get red bricks, four long, thick red bricks. And they go in the center and the back. So you can see that there at the back. Then on top of that, I have to get one of these. That goes at the front, like so. So this must be for the axle and for the axle that side. Then on top, I have to get a 4-piece grey. And that goes, okay, so that goes underneath, like so. And then that attaches under the black center bit. Then on top of that, I've got these two, they're like L-shaped black bits. There's two of them. And they go one next to the red, and then one the other side as well. So you can see that, just there and there. Then next I have to get two of these, two grey pieces, and they go, there's four of them all together actually. So one at the back, I'll show you this in a minute. One there, one there, and one just there. So you can see that there, two at the front and two at the back. Okay, so let's see what's from there. So now I have some red dots. You could say two red dots, and they go in at the back like so, and again one at the front, so you can see them there, one there and one there. And then on top of that I need another grey piece, and this goes at the front, and then again another grey piece, but this time with a dot in the middle, and this goes like so, so you see it there. Okay, then on top of that I have to get some of these white pieces, two of these, and they go either side at the back, one there and one there, so you can see them there at the back. And now I get two blue dots, and goes one side of the white that I've just put on and one the other side, so you can see those there, blue dot there and blue dot there. And then on top of that I have to get two of these black pieces, one there and one there. I'll show you that in a minute. So they just go in the front, just above these grey pieces, just here and here. So there and there. Okay, so now I have to get four of these pieces, got like a hook on the top. And they go just in front of the white bits. One hook, two hooks, three hooks, and four hooks. So you see I can't really see it too well there, sorry, but the hooks are lined up just there. Okay, right, so I now have to get some black wedges. These are smooth black plastic, and they go, okay, so they go just in front of the hooks. I'll show you this in a minute. So they go just there in front of the hooks, and then I have to get one of these pieces. Again, this goes in the front like so, and then another blue dot that goes on there. So you can see that there, there's a blue dot. These are the pieces that, the wedges. Yeah. And then I have to get a black dot, and that goes on top of the grey piece there, like so. So you see that there, just there. Okay, so now I have to get one of these. I attach one of these to the front, then a black dot. Black dot goes on the front, and then I need like a calculator looking thing on top. So that goes on like so. And this must be the flux capacitor, maybe. And that goes in the center, just there. So you can see it there. Okay. Yeah, straighten that up. Okay. So then I've got like a gear stick, some sort of microphone maybe, that goes just in there, in the center of the car. And then I have to get two L-shaped pieces, and they go either side at the back. It's one there, and then one the other side. So you see them there, like so. This must be for the gull wing doors. Then I have to get two L-shaped grey pieces. So there's one like so, and one the other side. So you can see them there, one there, one there. So now I have to get the arch pieces for the wheel. And one just goes in there, and the other one like so. Okay. So now we've got a grey piece. This goes on the back, and then on top of that, I've got two of these pieces. One there, black piece in the center. That goes on like so, and then another piece the other side, so you can see it there. Okay, then on top of that, this must be where the lights go. So one that side and one the other side, so you can see it there, one there and one there. So now I have to get one of these black bits and a clear blue plastic bit, and they go together. So, and also one of these grey bits, so the three together. So that one, and this must be a backlight, if you can see it there. And that goes on the back like so. And again, I repeat it the other side. So one like so, and like that. So you can see it there. And that goes on the other side as well. So you see one side there, and the other side there. So now I have to get two L-shaped black pieces. So now at the back, one goes that side, the other goes that side. So you can see it there, one there, and one there. And also two clear grey plastic pieces, smooth plastic even. Goes there, and the other one goes there, like so. Okay. So that's the end of bag one. So I have a few pieces left over from bag one. That's fine. They give you extra pieces in case anything goes missing. So I'll just put those to one side. I'll put them in the box actually. Okay, I've just added the spanner to the dock as well. Just because that was in that bag as well. See it there. Okay, so now I have to open bag two. Let's open that. Let's see what's inside. Okay, so this is a smaller bag, so this hopefully shouldn't take as long. Famous last words. Okay, so I have to get one of these and one of these and just start attaching them together. And then, okay, so quite a few of these. They go all along this smooth black plastic bit. You can see it there. Now, on top of that, I have to get these wedges. They go one there, and then on the other side as well. So you can see that there. And that goes on the back of the car. Like so. So you see that there? That's the back of the car. So now, okay, so that's actually that way around. Okay, so you see it there? So now I have to get one of these. This goes at the back like so. And I need 3 of these light blue pieces. 3 there. And they go at the back as well. So 1, 2, and 3. So you see that there? 1, 2, and 3. So that's there, like so. So now I have to get one of these and 2 of these. That's 1, that's 2. So you see them now. And one goes in there, like so. And then the 2 bits with the hooks on them just go in the front. So that's 1 and 2. So you can see that there. That's the hook pieces, and then that's the black piece at the back. So now I have to get 2 of these pieces. One goes one side of the black pieces at the back, and one the other side. We can see that there. So 1 there and 1 there. So yeah, that's how that looks. So now, okay, I have to get one of these, a blue dot, put it on top, and then a grey piece with a dot on top, and then, so that's 1, and that goes that side, so you see that there, and then the other side, I have to get another grey piece, a blue dot, and this time I have a red, like ketchup lid, that's the only way I can describe it, and that goes the other side. So you can see that one there, and that one there. So now I have to get 2 of these bits, and 1 of these, and these bits go at the front. So see 1 there and 1 there, and this black bit just behind, so it sort of solidifies the front a little bit. Okay, so now 1 of these, and that goes this side, and a blue dot just on there, so I'll show you that. So you see the blue dot there, and then the panel on the side. So now I do the same the other side with a blue dot. So you see it there like that. So this is the paneling of the car starting to come together. So now get one of these and get one of those. So that attaches like that. And that goes on inside the car like that. And again, one the other side. So 1 and 1. So you can see it there, 1 there and 1 there. Okay. So now, one of these, a grill piece. So the grill piece goes on the front, and that goes just in there, like so, and then another one the other side, so another one of those pieces, and a fluorescent green square with a fluorescent red square below, and that goes the other side. So you see that there, one there and one there. So now a grey window with that logo thing on it, and that just goes behind like so, and that goes in there. I'll show you that in a minute. So you can see that there. That's the bit I've just put in, and then you had the other two bits either side. Okay, so now a bit with a hook on the end, and I have to put that on like so, and again the same with the other side. Hook on the end like so. Okay, that hooks on the hooks at the bottom. So you can see there, these come down. They're attached to the hooks at the bottom, and again, same with the other piece. So you can see that there. Okay, so now one of these pieces, and this goes at the back, like so. So you see it there. So this is the front of the car, this is the back of the car. So now I need one of these, and this goes where these hooks are at the back. So just hook it in like so. So you see it there, the hook. Okay, so now I need to get one of those, just poke it through. So another one as well. Okay, so these pieces, they go in the holes. So one there, hang on, maybe the other way around, like so. And the other one the other side. I'll show you that in a minute. So you can see them there at the back. Yep. So now, one of these pieces, and I need to put one of these in there as well. And again, the other side, those in like so. And they go either side of this. This is quite a complicated part of the build, I think. Okay, so that one like so, and that one like so. Okay, so now I have to get this piece and attach it to a bar. One there and one there. You see that there? And then attach this to the back. Like so. So that's like that at the back. So this bar at the back, yeah, you can see it there. Okay, so now I have to get one of these. And that attaches in there. So you can see that there. And that's the end of bag 2. Okay, just going to open bag 3. So bag 3 is much smaller. So now I've got that piece, and I have to attach that piece to the top. Okay, like so. See it there? And it goes on the back of the vehicle. So you see that there? Yep. Now I need to get one of these and one of those. And they attach together, like so. And they go either side. So one there. And then do the same the other side. This is quite a long build, so I will try and break it up as best as I can. So one the other side, so you can see that there, and you see that there. Okay, so now, this might be the flux capacitor actually. That goes on top, see that there? Yep. And that goes at the back of the vehicle. So that's just in there. So now, I've got a blue bit there. This goes on the top. You can see that there, like so. So now, I need to get 2 of these. So one on this side. And one on the other side as well. Hang on, got that wrong. I'll show you this. So there's one piece there, there's another piece there, and then the flux capacitor in the center. I may be getting that wrong about a flux capacitor. It's on here somewhere. Okay, so now I have to get one of these pieces and a wedge. So black wedge shape. And that goes, let's see what I'm looking at there. So it goes that one there. And that goes on. So you see it there? It's a very complex build, I tell you. Okay, so another wedge to repeat the same the other side. Let's see. Yeah, just there. Okay. So you can see one there and one there. So that's on like that. And then 2 grey wedges. One goes this side. Not sure how that works. Okay, like that. So one on there. So this is part of the chassis of the car. And again, one that side. So you see the chassis there and the chassis there. That's from the back. Okay, so now I need to get a few wedge pieces like this. So one wedge piece goes on. Okay, so that goes like so, and one on the other side. So the wedge pieces, one goes there, one goes there. And then on top of that, I have to get two of these. One goes on the back there, and then the other one goes the other side. The unfortunate thing is a lot of this is black on black, so apologies, just there and there at the back. So the back of the vehicle, the front of the vehicle. Okay, so now this looks like some sort of lights. So a few of these. So you see this, and then on top of that, a red one, a few red ones. So it looks like there's three red ones together. And looks like I repeat that the other side. So you can see that's meant to be a light, I think. And repeat that the other side. So a clear plastic one first, and then three red ones. Red, red, and red. So you see the two there, the two lights, and they go on the back of the car. Okay, so hang on. Oh, I see. Okay. So one goes almost, hang on. One goes there, and the other one goes the other side. So you see there, one there, one there. Okay, so now I have to get two orange wedge pieces, and they go either side, one there, and one there. So see one wedge there, and one wedge there. So the back of the car is looking quite nice. It's looking like a DeLorean now. Now, I have to get that piece. Then I have to get a grey grille. And the grille goes on top, like so. And that goes on the back of the vehicle, like so. See that there? Okay, so now this bit's quite complex. I've got a wedge and an L-shaped piece. The wedge goes on the back, like so, and another wedge that side. And then there's also this grey piece with a dot in the middle. That goes under there. And then on top of that, there's the grille for the back of the DeLorean. That's one, and that's two. You can see that there. Right. And that goes on the back of the vehicle. Like so. So you see that there? Back of the DeLorean. Okay, and then I do the same the other side. So one of these, and two wedges, wedge and wedge, and then inside one of these. And then on the back, the two grille shaped pieces. One there and one there. So you see it there. And that, I imagine, goes on the other side. So you see it like so, the grille and the grille. Okay, so now I have to get one of these, also one of these with a hook on the end, this side. They attach. And then one of these calculator looking things, and that goes on like so. And these attach to the side of the vehicle. Show you. So that just attaches there. I'm going to do the same the other side. So the front, one of the calculator pieces. Okay, and that goes the other side. So one that side and one that side. Okay, so now, so that's the end of bag 3. Okay, so bag 4, that's one side. This is a bit of a bigger bag, this one. Learnt my lesson. I'm not gonna spew it across the table this time. Make sure nothing else is in there. So now I have to get this piece, and this goes at the front of the vehicle. So let's put that one on, as well as a white long piece that goes on the front, and then the black bit behind. Okay, so on top of that, I have a black 4-piece that goes on there, and then black L-shaped pieces. Okay, black L-shaped piece, and that just goes like so. So that's there, and then the black piece there. So now I have to get one of these, and a lot of these. Let's start building them up. Okay, they attach to the bottom. Show you as I'm doing it. See it there? Okay, and that attaches to the side of the vehicle. Show you that in a minute. So that attaches there like that, the back and the front. Okay, and then I have to put one of these there like so, and then also a wedge piece at the front, and then a grey dot in the middle, like so. So you see it there? Okay, then on top of that, that piece there, and that piece there, and that attaches to the top of the vehicle, like so. So you see that there? Okay, so now I have to get a long grey piece, and that goes at the front, like so. Oh, that bit's fallen off. Doesn't attach very well. Maybe I've got that wrong. No, there we go. Okay. And I have to get a black wedge. The black wedge just goes in there. Can't really see it too well because it's black on black. But you see it there. Okay. So now I do the steering wheel. So this is the steering wheel. And I have a piece that it attaches into. This piece here. Then it has a black dot as well. So that goes on. Then the wheel goes on. And that goes there. Oops. It's a bit fiddly, this bit. This is a bit fiddly. So, may have it the wrong around there. Just going to move it the other way. That just attaches in there. I'll show you once it's done. So you can see it there, the wheel. Okay. So now I have to get this piece. And this goes just in there, like so. Okay, so on top of that, I get a black wedge. And I have to get one of the stickers. Just Put the sticker on the wedge. Okay, that goes in there, like so. So you see that there? So now I've got to build up the other side. So these pieces, again, building up the skirt on the other side. Okay, and then it asks me to put a sticker. Just going to put that on there like so, hang on, like that. So you can see it there. And that goes on the other side of the vehicle. Like so, you can see that there. Okay, so do the other side of the car. So one of these on there like so. So you see that there. And then one of these on the other side. So you see that there. Okay, and then a grey square in the middle. So see that side there. Okay, so now one of those. And we're going to put one of those on there as well. Okay, so that's like that. So now, black square, this piece here, that goes on like so. And again, you just follow the trend both sides. And that one there, and that one there. So you see it there. And on top of that, I get these white pieces. One there. Oh, actually, no, hang on. I've got to get the blue dots in first. So one that side, one that side, and then the white bits on top, like so. So you see that there? This must be the headlights. And then on top of that, I have to get this piece and that piece as well. So let's select that piece. That goes on like so. See it now? And again, the other side. Like so. And then in the middle, attaches okay, hang on. I put that on there like so, and that on there like so. So like skirts for the car, I think. And then attach that like that. Oh, see it like that. Okay. Now I've put a white piece across the middle and one of these grey pieces in the center. And then on top of that, I have to put these blue L-shaped pieces on there and one there, and then two blue dots. So I'm going to put the dots on, one there and one there. And that is the front of the vehicle. So that just goes on there like that. So you see it there, the back of the vehicle, the front of the vehicle. Okay, so now I have to get a red brick. Red brick goes in the center, like so, just there. Okay, black L-shaped piece. And that just goes like so. So that's there, and then the black piece there. So now I have to get one of these, and a lot of these. Let's start building them up. Okay, they attach to the bottom. show you as I'm doing it. See it there? Okay. And that attaches to the side of the vehicle. Show you that in a minute. So that attaches there like that, the back and the front. Okay, and then I have to put one of these there like so, and then also a wedge piece at the front, and then a grey dot in the middle, like so. So you see it there? Okay, then on top of that, that piece there, and that piece there, and that attaches to the top of the vehicle, like so. So you see that there? Okay, so now I have to get a long grey piece, and that goes at the front, like so. Oh, that bit's fallen off. Doesn't attach very well. Maybe I've got that wrong. No, there we go. Okay. And I have to get a black wedge. The black wedge just goes in there. Can't really see it too well because it's black on black. But you see it there. Okay. So now I do the steering wheel. So this is the steering wheel. And I have a piece that it attaches into. This piece here. Then it has a black dot as well. So that goes on. Then the wheel goes on. And that goes there. Oops. It's a bit fiddly, this bit. This is a bit fiddly. So, may have it the wrong way around there. Just going to move it the other way. That just attaches in there. I'll show you once it's done. So you can see it there, the wheel. Okay. So now I have to get this piece. And this goes just in there, like so. Okay, so on top of that, I get a black wedge. And I have to get one of the stickers. Just put the sticker on the wedge. Okay, that goes in there, like so. So you see that there? So now I've got to build up the other side. So these pieces, again, building up the skirt on the other side. Okay, so this is slightly different. It's got a different edge piece on it. 2, 3, 4, missing one. So now I have to put the wheel arches on the front, 1 and 2. So let's put those on. 1 there, and 1 the other side. So you can see that there. Okay, so now a L-shaped blue piece, and that goes on, and that goes on there, like so, and then the black piece goes on there. Okay. So now I gotta get a grey piece, and that goes across the front of the vehicle. So you can see that there. Yep. Okay, now a black bit. That goes on the front like so, just there. And that's the end of bag 4. Okay, final bag, bag 5. Let's open it. Oh, I said final bag. There's a smaller bag inside. Okay, so with these, some of these pieces, and I have to put it on. So a piece on like so. Just got to separate these a bit. Square in the center. So this must be the bonnet. Right, just need to sort through these pieces out. I might just need to open the other bag to make sure there's nothing inside. Yeah, there's a few pieces in there that I need. Okay, so get another one of these pieces, and this goes on like so. And now I need to get the clear plastic pieces on there. Okay, so that actually goes further forward. Now I need to put these smooth pieces on as well. So one there and one the other side. So you can see the DeLorean starting to come together. Okay, so now I need 2 pieces like that. One goes at the front. And a single piece as well that goes in there. And then again the other side, one piece like so, and a single piece in there. So you can see that there, building up the front, building up the front. And also, I have to get 2 of these pieces with hooks on them and put them on as well. And see the other hook piece as well. So you've got a hook piece there. So that goes on like so. And now, exciting bit, I put the windscreen up, the roof / windscreen. So that goes on like so. So you can see it there. It's really starting to look like a DeLorean. It's exciting. Okay, so now I have to get, these are all grey and white, these pieces. So grey piece, white piece, on like so. And on like so, like that. And then a 2-piece on top, like so. And you see it there. And that piece goes at the front of the car, like so. That goes on like that. And the same the other side. So I need 2-piece with this white bit that goes on the front. And this bit here, that goes on like that. And then a 2-piece above. And a wedge as well. and that goes the other side of the car. So you see it there. Yep. Okay. So now I need this piece, and I need that piece. That goes on like that. And then clear plastic blue centerpieces, one there. It's actually, yeah, one there and one there. Okay. And then on top of that, I have to get these window pieces. And inside the window pieces go these pieces. So that's one there. Let me just see if it goes in. That should slot in, he says. Maybe it's the other side. No, it's definitely that side. There we go, slots in. And they go either side of this piece. So one there. And the same on the other side. Again, slot it in. And that goes the other side, like so. And then on top of that, I then have these wedge pieces, and they go at the end. Oh, wrong way, that way. And the other one. So they go on like that. So I think this is probably the front bumper. Then I get these blue clear plastic pieces, and these go on the ends, like so, one there and one there. That attaches, oh, actually, I got to get the DMC logo and put that on the front. Okay, so that goes on this piece. It's like a wedge that goes on the front. Okay, so that goes, put it on the wrong way. And that goes on the front of the vehicle. And that goes on the front of the vehicle. So I'll put that on there. So you see that there. So that's how the DeLorean looks at the minute. Okay, and that goes on the front of the bumper. So we'll just put that one on. So you can see it there. And then that goes on the front of the car. So let's put that on like so. So you see it there. The MC. Okay. So now, on top of that, I have to get some of these pieces. Come at some of these. One goes on there. And then a blue clear square. That goes on the side of the vehicle, like so. So you see that there. And the same the other side. Dot, that goes on there. And a square, that goes on there. And that goes on the other side of the vehicle, like so. So you can see that there, and you can see that there. So now, so this attaches, so let's give it a go. So one bit on top. Let's see if that goes in. Goes around like so. And attaches to the front ketchup looking thing. That makes sense. I had to do that off camera because that was quite tricky to get on. But there you can see it there. Okay, so now I've got some of these bits here, and it says that these go on the middle, like so. Oh, actually, they go on top of these telescopic looking things. Just put those on there. like so. Yep. Hang on, other way. Not doing very well with this build, am I? But I'm getting there. They just go in there like that. It's coming undone again. Okay, and then the same the other side. So telescopic bit. Just goes on there like that. So you can see that there, there, and there. So now I need to get like a green looking drill bit, and that goes on a green arm. Has a hook on the end. So that goes in there like that. And that goes on the telescopic bit in there, like so. So you see that there, the green drill looking bit. So then on top of that, I have to get some of these pieces. That's telling me that goes on there. I'll show you this in a minute when I get it finished. Like so. So you see it goes up the side. And then there's also a central piece, this piece here, and that goes in the middle. So you can see it there. There it goes along. And then I'd imagine that repeats the same side. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so that's fine. See the other side, and then yeah, it repeats the other side, sorry. So, comes down like so, and it comes down the other side. And then in the middle, we have this bit as well. So you see it there, how it goes down. Okay, and now we've got these bits. So these bits go on as well. And the same the other side. I'll show you this in a minute. So you see it there at the back, one there, one there. So there's actually this piece. It looks like a bit of a kettlebell, yellow kettlebell, and that goes in the center like that. Then on top of that, you've got the license plate at the back, and that goes on that, like so. And then on top of that, now we have this piece. This bit goes in there like that, so you can see it there. So now I've got to do the wheels. So a wheel in a bit, and these beige bits go in like that, and they just go on the wheel pieces. And again, the same with the others. And they just go on as well. They go on the other sides. Just put the inner pieces in as well. And again, the final side. And they go on as well. Okay, so now it's telling me to put the figures in the car. Okay, so they're both in, and I'm just going to put the windscreen back on, windscreen/roof. Let's see if that goes on. So there you have it, the DeLorean from Back to the Future.